All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. I fixed a bunch of different camera things. This should look much better. So today I want to talk about the Liver King again. I made some predictions a month ago or a couple months ago, and looks like they've all come true, right? This is not the first time I've made celebrity predictions. I'm like 10 for 10 right now, including the Hawk Tuah girl and a bunch of other shit that I've said about celebrities and how they're going to have a collapse if they don't have integrity and the basics of what it takes to be a good human being. And of course, in this instance, there's a lot of physical things as well as far as Liver King, okay? So, all right, so let's get into it. So I actually had AI outline the things that I said that were essentially what I predicted would come true. And what I said is that he would have an emotional breakdown due to unresolved wounds, and it's a false strength and performance-driven burnout, psychological harm to his children from being dominant and also crazy, and it's essentially an unsustainable path built on synthetic confidence. Now, I don't know if you know, by the way, long story short, he's essentially, this is from my client Vance, awesome guy, and this guy, Liver King, has essentially had a full-on mental breakdown. He got arrested in Texas, okay? He was threatening Joe Rogan, and now it looks like he's doing on this, this here.
Last Thanksgiving I was dying, over exaggerating, but a CT scan said something that was dire straits. And Ben Greenfield helped me. He gave me this recipe, kind of changed my life. Thank you, Ben Greenfield. That's what I'm doing right now. This is like the fourth one that I'm doing, and that's how I'm doing it. Last thing.
So essentially, he's doing 4 coffee enemas back to back to back because he is dealing with major liver issues, and he said he's about to die, essentially, okay? And so long story short, he's dealing with major health crisis, mental collapse, he's going to jail for threatening Joe Rogan, and the dude is losing it. And if you look at what I said in this video, okay?
Where you're wearing yourself thin day and day after day, day after day. You can be physically strong, but energetically you can be a total mess, burning the candle at both ends, very, very on the edge of disease, and totally and utterly out of balance and have no wellness. Being a high performer does not mean that you have internal wellness. They are not the same thing, guys. This is like a virus that men are infected with. That you think that you do the mental training, the physical training, the six-pack, you get the money, you know how to have your posture, you know how to talk correctly, you know how to do all of these things, and then you're a good man and a superior man. It's bullshit. A superior man knows how to do...
So look, keep watching that video if you want to learn more, all right? And now we can go to full screen here. Okay? So, you know, this is what I'm talking about, guys, right? I'd hate to see this happen to this guy, Liver King, but ultimately what I mentioned in that video is that this dude is on the brink of a collapse because you can have that high performance engine, you can be jacked, but that doesn't mean that you actually have internal wellness, and it doesn't mean that your health is built on a strong foundation, right? It's most likely built on a house of cards in this situation with Liver King. And right now, he's going crazy. The liver enzymes are through the roof. He's done so many steroids. He has taken so many substances. Here's what I believe is happening, okay? Here's what I believe is happening and is leading to his full-on breakdown, okay? From a physical standpoint, you have essentially I don't know if he stopped taking, first of all, he's possibly on drugs, right? He's possibly on like crystal meth or Adderall or some other drugs in order to constantly rev the engine because whatever he was doing before maybe stopped working as well, or maybe he started to slow down, or maybe the wind got, taken from his sails because of the documentary. Long story short, right, it's possible that he's on some sort of substances, and that can fuck you up like that. I've seen people go manic from substances. The other option is that his liver is so toxic and so inflamed, and his enzymes are probably through the roof from all the substances he's taken, that when potentially if he stopped the substances or it's reached its breaking point where the liver is now going to start dumping all of its toxins, and that's going to start, flowing through the bloodstream, and it can literally cause like schizophrenia or psychosis when you have so many toxins going through the bloodstream. Or his liver is just giving out full stop, in which case that would also lead to a massive dump of toxins and an inability to break down the things that he's actually taking. So overall, whatever is actually happening, it's irrelevant, because the root of it is essentially not taking care of the body and not understanding the body's limitations. Right? So that's like on the physical front. On the mental, emotional, spiritual front, we already talked about it in the last video, but and by the way, none of this is like fuck the Liver King, you piece of shit. I would love to help the dude. If he's watching this video, dude, like reach out to me. I have nothing against you, but I'm talking about themes. I'm talking about themes in modern day Instagram and YouTube and culture and health culture. That's all I care about. I don't care about individually blasting anybody, because he's probably genuinely trying to do his best, or he's so insanely charged emotionally from his wounds at a young age that it's like touching fire. And the only way he knows how to deal with it is by running the opposite direction, which is accomplishing, all right? Dominating, accomplishing. So, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, it's the thing I talked about in the last video. This is a classical example of someone who's so addicted to strength, so addicted to the masculine Mars warrior soldier energy that just marches on and continues to dominate, and doesn't understand his limitations, doesn't understand the limitations of the physical body and even the mind, how sensitive this filter is. He probably just went full on schizomania. Whatever is the clinical diagnosis, he lost his mind. This filter broke. And once this thing breaks like that, by the way, it's almost impossible to ever get back to the full grounded reality. Okay, when you start to break like that, it's almost like portals that open and scar you for life. I'm sorry to say, right? I'm not wishing that upon him, but that's my observation. Okay. And so, and obviously in the media and society will never that will never recover. That's for sure, right? His image. But long story short, right? Like, this is a very important lesson, guys. Wellness is not the same thing as high performance. There are countless examples, and I said this in the video, of people who are insane performers, physical specimens who are one day away from a complete collapse or an injury. In this case, it was his mind that broke first, his mind and his liver. Okay, interestingly enough, Liver King. Okay, so yeah, guys, look, most of you probably are not on that type of path that Liver King was on, but just reinforcing my message here, you must learn about what is sustainable, what is actually a sustainable path in this universe. The path Liver King was on was not sustainable, no matter which way you slice it. All right? So, hope you enjoyed the show. Let me know what you think about this new setup, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.